Good afternoon and welcome. It's the Star of a Mark Bernier radio program this afternoon, and back after a couple of days of visiting in New England where we got to actually see leaves change colors. Just beautiful traveling through and then back here. So we are live and in living radio color with Chief Craig Capri. For our Ask the Chief segment, joins us live today on WNDB. Chief, good seeing you. It's been pretty busy for you lately.
Yeah, we've been a little busy, Mark. Good afternoon.
Okay, I hardly know where to begin, but I gotta start by, because I talked to the sheriff over the weekend.
Yep.
I talked to some other people about this former Embry-Riddle professor who has gotten Judge Hutchinson apparently to let him be out pending appeal. When I heard it, the first two people I thought of after the victims were you and Mike, because I was thinking, what do they think, and what kind, how do they talk to their rank and file about this? What was your reaction?
And I got to be honest with you, Mark, I've still been busy with the homicides and the serial killer case and everything else. I haven't really followed too much of that part of it. I know, I guess he was granted some type of bond release while he's pending his appeal. But, I don't agree with it, but it's not my call.
Okay.
It's the judge's call and it's the judicial system's call.
Well, just to follow up before we get to the serial killer,
yeah.
When something like that happens, as the commander,
yes,
do you have to sort of rally around the troops and talk to them so they don't get discouraged?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
they build cases.
Yes,
and then,
and you got to understand that we can only control the piece of the criminal justice system that we can control, and we control what we can, and then we turn it over to the the judge at the state attorney's office, which does a great job, and then the judges, and it's out of our hands at that point. We have no say, so there's not much we can do to change that or to affect that. We just got to stay and do our part as hard as we can, as good as we can, and make the best cases that we can.
Okay, now the big one.
Yeah.
This serial killer story. I couldn't wait to talk to you about it,
Okay.
but I knew that the whole world was trying to get some time with you.
We've been busy, yeah.
Yeah. How did that come together?
A lot of hard police work, a lot of dedication, several investigators. David Denardi was our lead investigator, but he had help from a lot of retirees that came back and helped out on the cold case. We had technology. It has to go. Let's go back in time to 2005. You had the first unfortunate murder, and then in 2006, we had two more similar pattern there of a serial killer. Had it not been for Chief Chitwood at the time coming on the department, I don't think we would have solved this, because he brought in the new technology, the DNA, looking at things differently, actually gave us the tools and equipment to fight crime and to take it to the next level. And that's what we were able to do through embracing technology, and just good old-fashioned police work and working hard, never quitting, never letting up on the case, even though that it went cold for a while. We had it was 1 in 05, 2 in 06, and the 1 in 08. After that, everything kind of just dropped off, and you didn't hear nothing about it anymore. So that doesn't mean we just put the file down and leave it. We continue to follow up on leads, still checking and working all the time on the case. We had a lot of volunteers came in, a lot of retired guys came back, helping on this case to try to solve it. And then West Palm Beach was able to get a hit on their case, where a homicide down there that matched, the DNA matched our two of our cases here. So working with them the last several months, 8 months, we were able to put it together, and they made the arrest right now. They got him in custody down there on their homicide charge. I talked to the state attorney today. We're just going to, Mr. Larissa, and we're finishing up a couple things, and we'll be charging him shortly with our charges.
Does he have to be transported here to face extradition?
Yeah, he will be. Yeah.
Okay. So, he'll end up having to, at some point, appear for the charges.
And it could be a while, Mark. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but there's really no rush at this point in time. The killer's in custody. We feel very confident. We feel overwhelmingly confident he's in custody. He's not going anywhere. He's got to deal with his legal issues down there. That gives us time to make a real, finish up some loose ends that aren't really loose ends, just to make sure we got everything in order and in place. So there's no wiggle room for this killer to try to wiggle out of anything here. So I feel confident. I feel R.J. Larissa and his staff are amazing. They do a great job. A lot of times they don't get the credit for what they do, but they are on top of this. I can tell you that right now. And we get justice and closure for the families too, and that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
And I'm just thinking about that when you have the families who have been waiting to hear.
Yeah.
Who did you get to talk to?
I myself haven't talked to any of them.
Okay.
My detectives, they do all the work. They're the ones that are doing this. I just happen to be the chief. I help out. I assist when I can. I provide them the resources and tools to do that. But It's the investigators on the ground that are doing the job, that are working hard every day, and they were in constant contact over the years with the family members and talked to them. So I can tell you that the families are very relieved and very, you never gonna get your loved one back. That's unfortunate, but you have that peace, that closure piece, and now I think that means a lot.
He was a student of Bethune-Cookman.
Yes.
Did he buy his gun from Buck's gun rack?
Yes, he did.
Were you originally told that the suspect was white?
The FDLE did a profile. What do you call them? I'm thinking of the word here. Mark, give me a second here. The profiler, that's what it was doing a profile on what they thought the suspect would be, and it was a middle-aged white male, possibly a law enforcement officer. So
really,
yeah, they swabbed all of us for DNA. I was like, hey, have at it. It's like that was the profile at that point in time. But somebody asked me that at the press conference the other day, and I'm like, look, these are just based on theories and educated guesses. It's not, it's not for sure. So it wasn't for sure. I mean, how many times you think, you watch sportscasters and they forecast a game and this team's going to win by 3 touchdowns and they lose. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of it's based on their experience, knowledge, looking at the case, educated guesses, theories. Bottom line is this: the DNA didn't lie. It was him. He's caught. He's off the streets.
How many charges are in Palm Beach? Do you know?
Just one.
Just one. How many potentially do we have here?
At least 3, possibly a 4th.
And we're talking a period of 13 years?
Well, last time, yeah, you figure 14 years from the first one, so it would be, about that, 13, 14 years.
29 years you've been in this game. Have you ever encountered a case like this that you've been close to?
No. I caught one guy once that had murdered a couple girls up at Jacksonville, had strangled them, and I ended up catching him myself down here on the boardwalk, and they brought him back up to Clay County. So I mean, that's just my extent of dealing with a serial killer. The Warnos case when I first came here was kind of just wrapping up, and then the Stano case, I wasn't here for that, which was another serial killer. You had a lot of serial killers come out of this area. It's unfortunate, I guess. I was
reading Mark Lane's piece in the News Journal about some of the history behind this, and it really did paint us with a bad brush. I mean,
I don't think so much as a bad brush. I just, how do you predict where these people are? It could be anybody standing right next to you.
Well, that's the thing.
You don't know.
But it just seemed that some of the things that were written were really grossly unfair to the community because at one point...
I read the article, too.
It said that, I think Nancy Grace said, women are getting murdered.
They said like 8 murders, and that wasn't true. That was an inaccurate number. When I grew up in the New York area, when the Son of Sam was going around, I can tell you right now, everybody was scared.
Yeah.
Back there. I mean, I was young, I was a kid. But I remember on the news, and I remember with that Son of Sam case, what that did to the city of New York. It locked, everybody was on heightened alert. I mean, it scared, it terrified a lot of people.
Over how long a period was that fear intense?
I think till they caught him. It was a while. I remember he was killing couples that were like going parking in their cars, and he was killing them. I mean, you don't know what's in the mind of a human being. The human being is one of the most dangerous animals on the planet when you think about it. And these people are deranged. They're mentally unstable. They're killers.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad we got him off the streets.
Pardon the sidebar, but I got to ask you: do you think the combination of the hurricane, the bike thing, and the intensity of this story is what weakened your immune system?
No, I'm good. I just caught a little thing and
3 weeks.
Well, it doesn't help when you pedal a bicycle 268
That's what I'm saying.
Miles, up mountains, up hills in the rain, and it happens. I'm fine though. I'm good. No, this job's not stressful. It's the other stuff in life that's stressful. The personnel issues and dealing with personnel issues and sometimes other things. But the police job is the easiest thing to do if you love it and your heart's in it. It's all the other drama that comes with it. But no, I'm fine. I appreciate you looking out for my health.
It's the Bernier Show from FM 93.5, AM 1150, WNDB. I'm going to ask you about a case that came to our attention. But first, the bike. I want to talk about the bike situation. Because you guys pedaled from Yankee Stadium to Fenway Park.
Yes, sir.
Up and down hills. I'm thinking you probably went through Hopkinton and some of these places where the hills are really steep.
I just like going downhill. I'll leave it that way.
What's that like? Because that was over, 3 or 4 days?
It's over 4 days. It was the Tour de Force New York 9/11 Memorial Ride. We do it every year, and we raise money and funds for officers killed in the line of duty and also for the 9/11 survivors and their families and the 9/11 memorial. So we this year we raised about $760,000 nationally. We had 300 riders with 50 support people. And we started from Yankee Stadium, and the first day wasn't too bad. Some rain.
Did you get to see the Yanks play?
No, in Boston, when we went to the Red Sox.
Okay, but
So-
you didn't get to see any action.
no,
at
we did a
Yankee
tour.
Stadium.
We did a tour of the stadium. We were there early in the morning, and then we rode our bikes to Long Island. And then we, as we're riding along, I mean, yeah, it was a lot of hills, lot of hills. I mean, probably total of about 8,000 feet elevation over the 4 days. Some rain the first day, but other than that, the weather was beautiful. Beautiful New England weather. Rode into Boston, rode into Fenway Park, finished the ride, and then the Red Sox were gracious enough to give us 300 tickets to go to the game that night, Yankees-Red Sox game, so we got to see that. And then we came home. We're going to get ready to do it again next year and do the reverse route from Fenway to Yankee Stadium.
All right, it's just us now.
Yeah.
Chit would do the whole race too, or did he come in a day late?
He couldn't make it. He was tied up campaigning. Not just kidding. not that he needs to, but no. He was. He got called away on something.
There was something going on.
He's got so much stuff going on at the sheriff's office. It's not like I have a city, and he's got a whole entire county, and he's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make the phone ring.
Yep, I got you.
So, you said support people.
Yes.
Just in case somebody pulled a muscle or fell off their bike.
Well,
or
I can
something.
tell you the last day they picked up about 100 people because they couldn't keep up with the pace. It was pretty intense. So I was just riding as fast as I can, and taking advantage of going those hills, hitting 30, 35 miles an hour downhill, not stopping, and just hoping those lights stayed green, and it did, and I made it.
So where did that? What's the fund? Does it actually have a
Yes,
name?
yeah, it's the Tour de Force New York.
And that's the Tour de
9/11 Memorial Fund. Yes, it was started by a couple brothers that were Bronx detectives back right after the tower attacks, and they started with like 4 or 5 guys, and they raised like $10,000, and they just started building and building and building into this great organization, which I'm very proud and blessed to be a part of. This is my 7th year with them. I'll be my 8th year next year, and we're going to raise money. We can never forget what happened on September 11th, those terrorist attacks and all those. And when you talk to some of the survivors that are with us, you just can't believe it. The stories they tell you.
I never asked you. I knew you were here, right?
Yeah.
That day. What did your day become like on 9/11? Because everybody was affected.
I remember I was working midnight shift, and I woke up and put the TV on, and then I saw the tower got hit. And at first I thought it was maybe a small plane hit it, and then I realized, wow, this is a terrorist attack. And my brother lived up there, and he said he was awoken by the fighter jets flying over where he lived. He lives right outside the city, overlooking the city. So he went out down the street and saw the towers, whatnot, on fire. And then when they came down, you're like, oh my God, you just can't believe it, because I've been by that building tons of times as a kid. And now you see them, the massive size of those buildings, and knowing the area.
Yeah.
And imagine that coming down. My God, it was just, and it stuck with me. I don't think I'll ever forget those memories of that day and what happened by those terrorists and what they did to our country. And that's why we have to unite and rally and do everything we can to keep America safe and free from all kind of terrorism. And I think we just need to become one nation together, put the bickering and fighting on the side, and everybody love each other and look out for each other, and let's just look out for Americans.
Okay. Now I need to ask you this, and then I'll move on. When you're doing something like this, do you have to? I mean, you always work out and stuff like that, but something as big as this, do you specially train a couple of weeks before to a month? Do you super hydrate?
You're supposed to.
I mean, what did you do so that you could complete it? Because a lot of people would collapse.
I did some weightlifting. I didn't have time to ride. I got to tell you, after what happened with Deputy Schofield, Frank getting hit, I was real leery about getting back on the road, and I did some rides on the trail. I still never felt 100% safe, out there. But his spirit lifted us along the ride, because it pushed the hurricane out of here so we could go, and it got us through the ride. I really believe his presence was there, and he was honored up there, and it was just a very special time to be there and just to complete that ride, not only for the survivors and the officers, but especially for Frank Schofield.
I saw when I came home, I caught up on the newspapers and saw where Frank was honored with that boat ramp.
Down at Port Orange. Yep. So
nice.
Frank was a great guy. Rode bikes with him for years, and
what a loss.
It is a huge loss, but no. Back to the training part. I didn't train much. I just muscled through it, and I paid for it, because for 2 or 3 days my legs were locked up. But I'm better now, thank God. But I'll take pain any day to honor somebody and honor these heroes and the officers that made the ultimate sacrifice, or these survivors that are the people that died during 9/11. That pain is nothing to compare what they're going through, what their families are going through. So I would do it again today, right now. Get on a bike and drive right now and do it for them.
We're talking with the Chief of Police, Craig Capri. I want to ask you about something I got some heads up about.
Yeah.
The man's name was Anthony Franklin Ferre,
Yes.
and apparently he passed away November 17, 2018 in Daytona Beach. He had been a resident of Florida for 15 years, born in Indiana. What happened?
I remember the case. It's a very tragic case. It was the gentleman unfortunately overdosed from drug use. During that time when he passed away, he had a girlfriend that lived with him who had access to all his stuff also. And he had a safe in there, and some people went through the safe and stole some things. And we were only able to prove, based on the video and what we had, was one gentleman that stole a gun, tracking that down. And we were able to charge him with the gun charge that was stolen. The girlfriend is not really nothing special. I mean, she probably took advantage of the family, I'm sure, because she was using his credit cards all over. The only problem is she was also on the account, so you can't charge her with anything. And I know the family was very upset, but we can only do what we can legally. We can't break the law to enforce the law, so I can't charge her with any kind of credit card fraud because she was on the account. Everything we could to charge, we did in that case. We did nothing wrong. It's just very tragic.
Well, apparently there's only been one person prosecuted over this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that because they couldn't build a case against anyone
else? That was the only case we had, I believe, because the gun was tracked to a pawn shop, and I think he pawned it, if I'm not mistaken. Something along those lines. We were able to make a solid case on him.
Have you had conversations with the family yourself?
No, I haven't. They haven't reached out to me. My detectives have extensively. My captain of CID, Captain Crochelle, and the investigators have bent over backward actually to help the family. I mean, sometimes these things are hard to deal with. The families sometimes are hard to accept. And my heart goes out to them because I can only imagine losing a loved one, let alone to a drug problem. So drugs are nasty, drugs are evil, and we also got to keep that fight, the war on drugs, going to stop this. I mean, especially these opioids, they're killing people left and right.
You know, I just don't know how we stop this, because, I mean, the pharmaceuticals there. They said they were going to go bankrupt, and then we hear they want to raise money by selling more of that stuff somewhere else.
Well, they're greed merchants. They're going to do whatever they can to make money. They're going to settle. It's all in their benefit. Trust me. They're not giving anything away. Poor people that get hooked on these things for pain, and next thing you know, decent, good people go, they just lose everything and then lose their lives, which is the most important thing. And we're doing everything we can on our part to fight the war on drugs and to save lives through using Narcan and educational programs and whatnot. So it's just a never-ending battle, Mark.
We'll take phone calls for the chief at 239-0033. We ask you to be brief. We've got your name, where you're calling from. Dr. Phil will talk with you first, and you can come on the air and ask your question for Chief Capri. In Daytona Beach, Amber, you're first today on WNDB with Chief Craig Capri. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. I'm good, ma'am. Go ahead.
I have a question regarding the case you were just discussing.
Yes.
Talking about there was a gun that was pawned, I believe.
I thought it was pawned, ma'am. I know there was an issue where they made a case on one of the gentlemen's there that had taken a gun out of the safe.
Yeah, it was not pawned. He returned that in lieu of a plea bargain for probation.
Okay.
But
so he stole it and returned it.
Right, but he only got probation. But the other thing is the other two criminals in the videos doing the same thing with him that were stealing cash were not charged.
Yeah, I don't think they were able to make a case on that based on they didn't know exactly what they stole.
You can see it in the video of like stacks of $10,000s of dollars taken. He had his gold chain. I mean, it's like clear as day, but only one criminal in that. All three at the same time, only one was charged. And the reference of being a drug user, he was on disability for several back surgeries. He was not a drug user.
Ma'am, I don't want to put your business out there, but I don't want to have to say what I have to say.
I want it out there.
Yeah.
Because...
Amber, wait a minute. Amber, wait a minute.
Yes.
The chief said that he had a history of, using illegal drugs, Chief? Is that what you were telling us? Wait a minute, Amber. I'm asking the chief a question.
Sure.
Chief? Yeah, what's that?
Did he have a history of using illegal narcotics?
That I don't know. I was told that he had a drug issue. I don't know if there's a history of that, but there was a drug issue there.
You were told that?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's something about fentanyl and the OxyContin.
Yes, it was mixed. That's what
it was mixed. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so he's never been arrested for drug use. And both of those medications were prescription medications that he's been on for years. He was not a drug abuser. And them chalking it up, I mean, even on camera, one of the police officers says basically, another drug user gone. I mean, that's a biased opinion just because he had a safe. And the fact that the safe wasn't secured, they left the entire safe, his wallet, his phone. I mean, you would think in the death investigation, those things should have been taken as well as his camera system.
But you can't build a case on assumptions.
Ma'am, it was my understanding all that stuff was gone before we got there. Ma'am, I didn't investigate the case. I'm just telling what I was told.
Amber, let me ask you a question. Did the defendant have a defense?
What defendant? The one that got charged?
Yes.
He never got a chance. They offered him a plea deal, and he got 2 years probation, and he returned a gun.
I did not follow the case, and I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to lose listeners because they don't understand the story. But didn't any of this come out in any court proceeding?
No, it did not. It never even got reported. The credit card fraud that we reported, even gave them the names, the transaction numbers, the footage. None of it got even in a police report. And so his children are now responsible for all those theft charges and credit card fraud that they made fraudulently, and now his children have to pay those debts. He has 5 children.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I heard the girlfriend, whoever the girlfriend was the one that was using the credit card. She had actually...
there was 2, actually, okay. 2 different people using it, yes.
Okay. Well, she should be responsible for that, not the kids.
And I think...
Absolutely.
I think that's a civil action, if I'm not mistaken.
It's criminal when you're fraudulently using a credit card.
Ma'am, could you come down to the police department and talk to me tomorrow? Maybe we could work it out to figure it out from there. Because maybe you could fill in the blanks.
There's really not much to fill in, to be honest. I mean,
I'm trying to help you here.
Credit card fraud is a crime. It's not a civil matter. It's a crime. If I were to use somebody else's card and spend it for $4, that's a crime.
Yeah, but if you have permission to use the credit card,
thousands of dollars. But she didn't have permission. He was deceased.
No, she had permission prior to that. She had access to these cards.
Because he lived there. That's not. She wasn't on his credit card. And running to the bank and pulling out on video $1,000 the same day he died and laughing.
She was on the account, ma'am.
That's fraud.
Ma'am, she was on the account.
There were 4 different accounts. She was not. She was an authorized user, and per the authorized user, it states once that party is deceased, she is no longer, even through the emails from the actual bank, they even state she is.
Hold on.
Still liable.
Hold on.
At the forum.
This really isn't the place because this kind of an issue is a civil action as well. And I'm not shutting you down, Amber, but I'm running a talk show, and I do not have all the facts involved here, and we can't try this case on the radio. I strongly urge you to get with Chief Capri, set up an appointment.
I'll meet with you.
How about doing that?
Doing what?
Meeting the chief.
If
it's an important enough case, if this issue is important enough,
we have met the chief. My mother has drove and flown to Florida and done everything possible that they can.
She hasn't met with me.
She hasn't met with the chief.
She didn't meet with me, ma'am.
Because he won't respond to her. We've sent email after email.
Ma'am, I didn't receive any email, ma'am. Ma'am, you're spinning your wheels here, okay? This is not true. You're putting out. Yes, you are. You're putting out false statements here.
All right, I'm going to stop.
You know how to reach me. Have your mom call me. I'm not doing this today.
Please call and set up an appointment. Our phone number is 239-0033. I'm closing discussion on this simply because this is not the place to go through the infinite details of this case. I'm not minimizing the loss of the family or anything, but we can't settle anything here, and I think it's improper to use the talk show for that purpose. It sounds like it could be a legal and civil action, which needs to be handled by the courts, the police, the state attorney's office, and any civil attorney that will handle this if there's a property or a money issue.
Yes, sir. I agree with you.
With all due respect. Now, I'm going to ask you, Phil, are all these calls about the same subject? If they're not, I'm going to take other calls. Okay. I'll wait for the name, and then we'll take Lois? Oh, it's Louise. See, if I wait long enough, I see the name. Here's Louise in Holly Hill. You're on WNDB with Chief Capri. Hello.
Yes, hello, Mark and Chief Capri. Yeah, this is a question concerning the serial killer.
Yes, sir.
You had the DNA evidence that was left on 2 or 3 of the bodies.
2, sir.
Okay, 2 of them. And from the DNA evidence, you knew it was an African American that left the sample, right?
No, I don't think so at that point in time, no. No, sir.
The DNA would not identify if it's an African American.
Sure it would.
Are you a DNA specialist, sir?
No, I'm not a DNA specialist, and I've never been to Antarctica, but I know it's cold down there. But I'm quite certain the DNA evidence can prove that it's an African. It was, the race of the individual.
Sir, at the time, I believed that the technology did not exist. Maybe that come after the fact, but no,
they didn't know. We
didn't know, sir.
They didn't know the race of the individual at that time. They were given information by the FDLE that suggested it was a white individual. Hello.
Chitwood was on the news this morning, on television this morning, and he said that right after the murders that they contacted Ancestry.com and that they started talking to a relative of the person that left the sample.
Sir, I don't think so. You might have misunderstood. I don't know. I could tell you, if we knew who the guy was, we would put him in custody, sir. Back then, we've been looking for him for 14 years.
Yeah. Trish is on
a scientist.
Yeah. Trish is on his cell phone. You're on WNDB. Welcome to my world.
Unbelievable.
Trish, hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
I just have a quick question about the Walmart and the old Sam's area here on Bevel.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand that there were some drugs and stuff they were doing behind the Sam's Club now and all that. How are we doing over there? Has that been cleaned up at all?
Yes, we cleaned that whole area up. There was a lot of, it was like some homeless camps set up there. We cleared them out. I believe they're going to be putting something in that Sam's building.
Are they?
Yeah,
I hope so. Do you know what it is?
I really don't know for sure, but I had the rumor, and I don't like rumors, but I think they're talking about putting some kind of like online, like distribution center where they could people do online orders and like a warehouse type thing out of it. That's what I heard.
Excellent.
So.
I was just curious because I know a lot of people were sort of, like the elderly people that shop there were a little bit concerned about safety around that area. So it's okay.
It's been very quiet, and believe it or not, I don't want to jinx myself, but even the shopliftings have dropped off down there, thank God. So it's gotten a lot better over there. So, but we have a heavy presence there also. We have a heavy presence there.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Our phone number is 239-0033. And if you want to email, you can do as others have done this afternoon, which is mark@markberniershow.com. mark@markberniershow.com. The website is powered by our friends at ZGraph. Question, when there is a capital crime that's committed, is it stated policy or is it just courtesy that names are not released until the victims' families have been notified or anything? How does that work?
It's definitely a policy and a courtesy also at the same time because you don't want the family finding. Now with social media, you got to get to the families quick because this stuff comes out all over social media.
It's horrible.
And people find out about their loved ones being deceased before somebody could tell them. So time sometimes is of the essence, and sometimes you have to, you might have to make a phone call instead of doing actual face-to-face if they're out of state just because social media moves so quickly. And the networks move so quickly. Networks meaning the network of people doing the social media stuff. So it's just it's you want to notify the family first out of respect for them, and they lost a loved one. I can only imagine that traumatic experience that they're going through. So it's all about the families, and it's all about getting closure for the families in a lot of these cases.
Yeah, I wanted to ask your opinion on something, and I wonder if we can do it a better way.
Yeah,
when people are arrested on charges of sexual abuse or prostitution or any of that, these people are presumed innocent till proven guilty.
Yes.
Yet their images are plastered out everywhere. Some states put them up on billboards.
Yeah.
If they haven't been convicted, Chief, isn't that creating a new problem because now they have to rebuild their reputation?
I don't even want to get involved in that, Mark. I have no say in that. That's out of my control.
Well, I'm just wondering if certain information should be controlled. I'm in the media.
The media does it, not us.
Yeah.
The media is the one that run with it. I mean, people are innocent until proven guilty. And sometimes people's perception is not what things really are. Yeah. So I don't know what to tell you on that one. That's a media call. I think people, I don't agree with it, but it's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I kind of wish that you guys could and not put it out to the media because not everybody plays by the same rules.
Well, Florida's very, the public records law is very broad.
Sure.
They can get anything. So it's ridiculous. But
okay,
the weather's nice here.
Cell phone. Here is Paul. You're on WNDB with Chief Capri. Hello.
Hello, Chief Capri.
Yes,
Thank you for being there.
Yes, sir.
I've been concerned for years about Walmart security.
Yes.
Is it a matter of their policy just to call the police when they have an issue having to do with theft and such?
Yes, they call us, they notify us, and then we come and help them out. Sometimes their loss prevention people do a lot of the work for us as far as completing the paperwork, and we just come there and just notarize it and tie it up a little bit, clean it up a little bit. But, yeah, they call us when they need. They're very proactive with that.
Well, my concern is with all their billions, can't they have a security person there, stationed there at all times?
That's not my purview.
That's Walmart's call.
It's corporate America, and they're all about the bottom line, how much money they can make. And
you might want to ask the general manager of your local Walmart if they do that, and if they don't, why don't they? Because that's on their dime.
I can tell you they've been great partners with us as far as community events and stuff. They help us out, and I know they hire police officers during like the Black Friday, I think they call it, the shopping days.
Yeah, they do.
The big shopping
at their
days,
cost.
At their cost. So they do hire officers at times, but I don't know how their business model is or whatnot.
I understand. Thank you.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, thank you. Saturday morning, Weekend Around the House, Home Repair and Fix Up. Carl and I are back in all new episodes, sponsored in part by Commercial Coverage's CCI.
Weekend Around the House. Mark Bernier. News Talk 1150. WNDP.
So we're in the communications business, and we're in a break, and the phone rings, and the chief answered it.
Yes.
And I got to hear both ends of the conversation. So first, it's a recorded thing telling
saying
you
that I have violated my Social Security and that I'm going to be arrested and charged. But dial number 1, we could work something out. So we hit number 1, and it was, I don't know, some
you
guy
got transferred. And he's had a foreign accent.
Foreign accent, probably in some basement somewhere in the. I don't know. I better be nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had
and you told him in assured language. You told him what he was, and then you asked him to stay on the line because you were tracing the call that you're a federal agent.
And then he hung up the phone.
I heard the whole thing, folks. It really happened. It just happened here in the studio.
Don't fall scam. If you hear anything like that out there, public, where they're saying that you're in trouble with the Social Security and you need to give them money and call numbers, they're scams. Delete them.
Man.
If you have any questions, please call the police department. 386-671-5100. It's all a scam. Please do not give them any money or any of your information.
I was in a program recently on cybersecurity, and one of the things we were talking about were these card readers.
Yeah.
Where they put them. So what they do is they put a device over the device,
yes.
and when you put your card in, it steals your number.
Your credit card numbers, yeah.
So do you advise that people sort of shake the thing before they put their card
That
in?
and always use debit,
Okay.
Yeah, always use debit because then you're playing with house money. I'm sorry, use credit, not debit. I messed that up. Always use your credit card when you're getting gas. Don't use debit because if something happens, it's going to be the credit card company's problem, not your bank account. If you use debit, they're going to take it out of your bank account. The guy from Catch Me If You Now, I heard him speak. What's the guy? Frank. I can't think of his name anyway. He spoke at a conference I was at, and that's what he was telling us, that always used credit, not debit.
Yeah.
To cover yourself.
I just heard
Frank Abernathy, that's his name, Abernathy.
Yeah,
the guy from Catch Me If You Can.
I've heard these stories of people losing tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's they prey on the elderly, and it's horrible. And it usually happens around hurricanes and natural disasters. They try to take advantage of them. So if you have elderly parents or loved ones, protect them, educate them, and especially in times when there's a natural disaster or something, stay with them. Make sure you control as much as you can without give them their dignity and stuff, but don't let them fall prey victim to because a lot of times they won't report it because they're embarrassed also. So please take care of our elderly people. They've taken care of us. It's our time to take care of them.
I saw something today and I thought of you. I was on Nova Road and I saw some panhandlers.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, why haven't they gotten with it in Ormond Beach and put their own ordinance in?
I don't know.
I mean, you don't have this. I don't see this in your city at all. in Daytona. I don't see it really in Port Orange, but I'm seeing it in Ormond a lot.
I know they're doing some stuff up there. They're working with it. I know they are. But I can tell you that our ordinance is pretty solid. We invested the money in it, and it's working for us. I'm sure they're doing some stuff up there also.
I think it really was. I got to tell you, it's been better than I thought it was going to be.
I told you it was. You still owe me a steak dinner at Billy's Tap Room.
You're on. I got some time over the next week if you want to go.
We'll have to do that.
I do. No, seriously.
Me, you, and Bagel head up there. We'll have a good time.
Okay. Until moments ago, it was going to be a splendid evening.
No, well,
so we'll go.
I'm going to take you up on
Let's
that.
Go.
All right.
All right. You got the time.
Yeah.
So, all right. Our phone number is 239-0033 if you'd like to talk with the chief. Be with us here on WNDB in the final 8 minutes. There was, over the last couple of days, I heard the county council was approving additional money for tag readers for the county. A lot of people, and I was one of them, didn't quite understand that tag readers really only tip off law enforcement to somebody who has a criminal record.
Absolutely. Stuff that's entered in there, like if it was say if it was a murder or a suspect or of a crime from out of the area or even in the area, we can put that tag number into the tag reader and it'll alert us when that car comes into the city. Our city's completely ringed with tag readers. We were one of the first, probably one of the first in the state to go with this under Sheriff, then time Chief Chitwood's leadership. And now we're all working together with the county real-time crime center. We've combined forces. Port Orange is in there, Daytona Beach, and the county, and we're just doing a great job. These men and women do a phenomenal job in that real-time crime center. They are unbelievable.
The real-time crime center is in DeLand, or is it?
It's in Daytona.
It is in Daytona.
Yes. And we're able to, we almost got it to the point where it'll be 24 hours soon, but right now it's got almost 16, 18-hour day coverage, and these men and women here are unbelievable. When something goes down, they're immediately on there analyzing data. If they're quick, they're fast. They're the real, true crime fighters behind the scenes that deserve a lot of the credit in that real-time crime center. They are phenomenal.
We don't mention Crime Stoppers enough.
Yes.
How effective are they?
Very effective. Very effective. They do a great job. Just another tool in the toolbox. You got Crime Stoppers, Real-Time Crime Center. You got technology that you use, tag readers and different cameras and stuff, and other technology that you use to just fight crime, and it comes together as a package, and the citizens benefit from that.
Do large subdivisions ask you for your expertise because they like to help police themselves?
Yes.
Little cars and stuff. And how does that work? They consult with the department. They get training. They're not law enforcement officers.
No, but we meet with we have about 16 or 18, I think now, neighborhood watch groups, and we go to every one each month, and we go with them. We give them advice. We do SEPTED studies. That's where we design security through environmental design. So you look at trees and lighting and where to put fences up, and we make recommendations, and they work good with us. All these neighborhood watch groups have our phone numbers. Yeah. They reach out to me or my command staff or the lieutenants, and we answer quickly, promptly, and get them results.
If more people were to get, say, a ring system, could that have a great impact on self-policing?
Absolutely, because the bad guy's going to go to a house with a ring and go to the next door. And if everybody had it, maybe the bad guys would leave. They're not going to take a chance,
I'm just hoping that we all move to that, because policing is something we all have to be involved in. You can't just rely on patrol officers to catch the bad guys or to act afterwards.
No, you got to be proactive and preventive and protect your property. Number one, protect your family, protect your house, and then protect your property, and make sure that help the police, work with the police. The police cannot solve all your problems. They need your help. We can't do it without a partnership with the community, neighborhood watch groups, businesses. The religious end of it too, so the churches and stuff and synagogues. So we all got to work together.
Is National Night Out? We had it this year.
Well, ours is going to be October 1st.
Oh, it is,
because we're special. No,
no. They used to have them in August.
They are. Most of them are in August. We're doing ours in October. It just works out better for us in October. The weather's a little bit cooler.
That'll be a Tuesday night.
Yeah, October 1st. Yep, October 1st.
What time is it, like 6:30 to 8:30?
6:30 to 8:30, I think, 6 to 9. It's going to be over at the Midtown Cultural Center. We've partnered with Target this year. They've been great partners with us. Come on out, get some food, interact with your police department.
I think it's very effective.
I think every night in our police department is National Night Out because we're so engaged with our community. So this is just one night that we have a special night for, but our officers are engaged in the community 24/7.
A lot of people forget that National Night Out has been around for more than 40 years.
It's amazing.
In 1982, Chuck Bennett and I did a National Night Out thing in Providence.
Did you guys have sideburns and bell bottoms and stuff? And big?
I had the big wide.
Yeah, I'm sure, right? Platform shoes.
That was 1982. Actually, that would go back to when I was in high school.
You had a mullet, right? No.
But that was the first national night out for us in Providence. I said, this is fabulous. And then it kind of like waned up there for a while. Yeah. But now it's come back.
Yeah.
Because people realize they really don't know their neighbors.
No, nowadays.
Everybody's so busy. And
it's not like it was 25, 30 years ago when you'd go to your neighbor's house and eat dinner and walk in and watch TV and go in the fridge without even knocking.
Yeah.
Don't do that now. But, it's just different. It's different times. Technology and just different times.
We got a couple of minutes left. I wanted to ask you, we didn't go over any crime statistics.
Yeah.
Did you have anything you could tell us?
Yeah, real quick, we were down 11% in our Part 1 crimes compared to 9% last year. A big number that sticks out is we were down 20% in firearm offenses from last year. So,
wow.
Believe it or not, with all the stuff we've had, we're still down 20%. We had 123 cases last year this time, and now we've only had 99 so far this time. We're down in larcenies. We're slightly up in burglaries. Overall, the crime is down 11%. Coming out of the summer, that's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, does it go up again around the holidays?
No, usually our busiest time is the summer, and we came out of the summer in the negative, which is a huge win for us because we analyze it. Yep.
Joe in Ormond Beach wants to know, how does the chief feel about roundabouts in the expedition of traffic v. safety?
I don't know too much about roundabouts. I've been driving through them. I don't know the big deal about them. I don't know much about them. I guess I'll find out when they come to the city, but hopefully by that time I'll be long retired.
By the time you
7,
will
8
probably
years,
be, yeah.
I'll be on the beach somewhere.
It says, he goes on to say, I think some driver education would be necessary.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you something. You may not want to go out on a limb, but I'll go out on a limb on this. I think that we should all be retested at certain ages, and I would do the test again because we forget so many things.
You're right.
About driving.
Yeah.
I'd be all right with that.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Just to keep us safe.
Well, you're a senior citizen now, right?
That's correct.
I got 3 more years, and I'm going to be a senior citizen. So,
no, you're not.
I'm 52. You're 55, a senior
citizen. You have
citizen,
to
right?
be. No, I think it's 59. Maybe.
All right, well,
maybe they'll make an exception for law enforcement.
I don't know. Somebody told me it was 55. I can get AARP.
I think you could start getting discounts at dinner.
Yeah, okay.
I think.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel or something, right?
I didn't get to go Friday night to the sheriff's thing. Did you get to go?
I couldn't go.
Yeah.
I had so much. We were so busy, knee deep in stuff, and we don't stop. We're 24/7 operation.
Now, you have your thing coming up?
No, ours is November. We'll talk
yours
about
is
that.
November.
Yeah. We'll have ours in November. Yep.
And October 1st will be the National Night Out.
Yes.
Will there be more locations? Is there? Because we'll pass along information for people to participate. Is it on the city's website?
Yes, it's on the website. It's on the police department website. It's October 1st, 6 o'clock, I believe, to 8 or 9. It's going to be at the 6 o'clock until. So just come on out. We'll have plenty of food, plenty of games, plenty of prizes, fingerprinting kids. We'll have static displays, canines, everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we do it up. We do it right.
Well, good to see you, Chief.
Mark, always a pleasure.
I'll follow up. We'll do dinner.
All right, you got it.
All right, thank you.